Right guys, so today we're going to be making a tech house track in the style of Cloone. If you want this project, you can download it from my Patreon. The link for that is below. You can also download all the other projects made on my YouTube channel. It also really helps support the channel. But yeah, today's video is quite simple. It's basically just about the drums and the bass and a catchy bit of vocal. Cloone's tracks are fairly simple, but it's about making the elements that are there work nicely together. Right, this is what we're going to be making. Come on. Come on. Come on. Right guys, so let's start with a kick. I'm just going to go through and find a kick. We want something very thumpy. All of Cloone's tracks have a very thumpy kicks with a lot of subs. So that's quite good, it's very dominant. Let's pick this one. Okay, for some reason there's an EQ, let's delete that. Okay, so let's maybe add a bit of distortion to that. So let's go to saturator. Let's go for a bit warmer. In fact, we want something a bit more heftier than that. Digital clip. Drive it up a bit. Reduce the output. Alright, let's get a clap. So we're going to want something quite harsh and crispy, but also slaps, bush, with like quite sharp transients. So try this. Not quite enough. Let's try layer them. So that one, another one. Might work. Too much high end on that one, so that's actually EQ off the high end. So with these tracks and a lot of his tracks, they're very laid back, very stripped back, very simple. It's all about pretty simple drums that are punchy and loud, mixed with a bass, which is pretty simple, but again, clean, loud, and then a few little bits of ear candy that keep the listener going. So once you've got these drums wrapped up, we're going to move on to probably the bass and then follow on from the ear candy. So let's just get a hi-hat in now. Go for an open, so same pack again. This pack is really great guys, couldn't recommend it enough. Quite like this one. Let's make these notes a bit longer. Maybe just on every 4. Try moving that. Let's try that. Maybe even that. Maybe a bit shorter. Again, I'm just playing around to see what works. Keeping the BPM about this sort of speed, quite low. Below 125, because if you listen to his tracks they are quite slow, quite plonky. Right, so need a little a closed hat, make one ourselves. This might be too many notes, we'll see in a second. Closed hat, hi-hat, it's closed. Then we're going to sidechain this to the kick, maybe even the hat, so we're going to have a look in a second. See what works better. Okay, so I'm gonna drag down, oh, threshold. Right, let's try it with the hat instead. Could even try both. Let's try both. Adds a bit more, doesn't it? Let's also add some swing to this. So let's go to the groove pool. Let's go for MPC. These are normally the go-tos. Let's go for the 16th note. Nothing too crazy. Try 60. Too much. Not enough. All over the place. That's how quick scroll other ones there are. Let's try an 8th. Again, I'm just doing it by ear, seeing what I like. This might not be your preference. You might want something more, might want something less. It's really up to you. Let's commit that actually. I'm also then going to add a bit of variation to the velocity of the notes. Just doing it like this. Just cuts the top off. Okay, duplicate that. Oh, fucker. Don't know what I've done. Whoops. Right, so let's duplicate that. Let's also add a bit of auto pan. This basically just changes the stereo of it, so it pans from left to right. Let's add it on, change the rate so it does it really slowly. Don't want to do it too much, like to pan it too far left and right, but I do want it to swing a bit. Okay, let's also get another open hat. Trying to pull out a bit of crunchiness from this. Go for percussion. In fact, let's go to Splice, see what we can pull out of this. I've downloaded some samples yesterday. Let's have a quick listen. Okay, so I found this loop. It's sort of like a vinyl effect if you listen to this. A bit fucking loud, so we're going to lower that right down. We're also going to EQ the fuck out of it. I'm sort of trying to make the track sound a bit more organic, a bit dusty, add a bit of character to it with this. So we've got a few pops in it, which also help add to the ambiance. Also going to sidechain this very heavily to the kick. It gives it a bit more movement, rhythm. Add it right at the bottom of the mix so you can't really hear it. But without it, dry as fuck. With it, just adds a little bit of something. So, vinyl. Now let's have a look, see what else we can find.
Come on. Come on.
Okay, I like this. This vocal sounds quite good. What's it? 90.
Come on.
Sounds quite Cloone-ish, to be honest.
Come on.
Got a lot of delay on it, quite a little bit of fuzz. So add a little bit of reverb onto it.
Come on.
Let's have a little play around with this. Do want a bit more mids from it, to be honest. It's quite...
Come on.
Sounds like it's been high pass filtered. So try and boost a bit of what's been cut.
Come on.
Yeah, look.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Okay, so let's keep that in for now. Probably going to move the location of it. May even take a little chop from it. Alright, I'm going to mute this for now. I'm going to find a bass. I'm going to look for a preset. Alright, so let's give that a go. In terms of the bass line, it's got to be pretty simple. He doesn't use many notes, he keeps it quite minimal. So I believe we were in G minor. Right, so I've got the notes in for G minor. Let's find the root that we're starting from. It's probably this. I'm just going to play around here, try and find a little groove that works. Alright, so I've got this little thing. Might work. I tried to keep all the notes close to the root note, so I've only gone 2 above or 1 below. Kept it very minimal. Only concern is that this preset has too much, I'd say, character. It needs to be just a bit more. Yeah, so I'm going to change this. Prefer that much more. So let's hear that. Maybe change the length. Yeah, so to keep the notes shorter as well. Okay, so that will be our groove for now. Nice and simple. Got this little vocal coming in. Delete this for now. Let's do a bit of processing. So compressor. Don't ever actually use that compressor. Let's use the glue. Bit of saturation. And there's already a compressor on it, yeah, so it's already compressed.
Come on.
Alright, so let's move it. This will be our bit from the top.
Come on.
Okay, so where that gap is, let's try and put the bass note, that vocal shot around there because it fills the space. There you go. So although we left the gap in that bass, it gives us a little bit of wriggle room to put a bit of something else in. So duplicate that. And maybe chop out this end bit.
Come on.
And straight back into the drop. Right, let's hear that.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Alright, so just lastly for this little second drop thing, we're gonna have some percussion loops just to add a bit of spice. I know I'm trying to keep it simple because these tracks are simple. It's all about not having many elements, but the ones that are in there are working in favour of the track. So, but I do, for my own sanity, need to add a little bit of something. Maybe a little cowbell. Quite like this old school one. Okay, so I'm going to delete this cowbell because it just doesn't fit in. I found this percussion loop on Splice. Don't like the high end from it, so I'm going to cut that off. Also, so I'm going to extend that for the whole loop. And this little bongo delay. I'm going to sidechain it. Hopefully it works. Again, with all of this, it's just trying different things and seeing with what sticks. If something doesn't work and you just think, oh, I want it to work, well, sometimes it just fucking doesn't, so it's time to move on to the next thing. Again, it's just a bit of candy. Let's EQ some of the low end off that. Just adds a bit of texture. You can also then duplicate this, reverse it, chuck it in here.
Come on.
This little texture fill, but it's far too long, so let's cut it down. Let's add like a gate to it, so auto pan. Amount, rate, shape, normal, invert. Oh, actually do it again. Phase. Put it to notes mode. Without it. With it. So sort of like a fast side chain. And then cut this right before the vocal. Okay, so lastly I'm going to group the drums. fatten them up, chuck a drum bass.
Come on.
Right guys, thank you very much for watching. If you want any other specific videos, just drop a comment down below. Yeah, see you next time. Thank you.